Hey Ashley, it's Allison from Curio Design Studio, and this is the project walkthrough for your first floor of your house, including the dining area, the living area, and the small kind of office area off the front of your master bedroom. So, as you can see, we're in the plan view here, kind of looking down at the layout. So this would be the entrance from your front hall here, and then your kitchen area and mudroom here, the pantry here, and this is your office. So I'm going to start out by just kind of walking you through what I've put in your living room. The overall layout and the general location of the sofa is pretty similar to where you had it. Because you have a long, narrow space, we're kind of limited with what we can do, especially since this is a TV watching area and the TV goes on these bookcases that are built in here. It's a smart call to leave the sofa where you had it. I did switch it out to a smaller sofa than what you had, so we have room to add in a big cushy ottoman here, and then these really great kind of tub swivel chairs. So they're great for having a flexible seating pattern. They can face towards the sofa, so when you're having people over, after dinner drinks and everyone's sitting here, this is a really great communication area, kind of a little conversation zone. But when you have a family night and everyone wants to cuddle up and watch movies, these can swivel around and sit and face the TV. So I'm picturing that's just going to be a great spot for the little kiddos and then kind of the parents in the back. And I really liked your kind of self-description of your style being mid-century modern with a little bit touches of kind of global or rustic. So I really tried to bring that in through different textures. You'll notice a lot of the furniture is that clean line mid-century style, but I brought in some of these warm wood textures, some kind of rustic patterns with the pillows, which are hard to see in this model, but you'll see them in your design plan with that texture of a cowhide and a kind of a vintage Killam fabric that's a little bit ethnic looking. And then I really love this table right here as well. So it gives a little spot for whoever's sitting in here to set their drink or set their snack when they're watching TV, but it's just a bunch of slices of wood kind of put together to make a cube. So it's really textural, it's really warm, and it's really interesting. I think it's a great way to bring your style together with that mid-century touches. I did throw in just another little table here, since you do have a what I call a floating sofa. It's not anchored by, up against a wall or anything. It is nice to have something, a solid surface to set a glass of wine or a glass of water or something on, since you will just have this upholstered ottoman here to kick your feet up on. Not the best for setting liquids on, although this one is a cocktail ottoman, so it's fairly firm, so things can be set on it. You could even add a tray here or something, so there's a little bit more of a solid surface. I also added in this great lighting. It's a swing arm, like an arc lamp from World Market, that will help just kind of separate this space and give you some directed lighting. I know there's a plug right around this area, so that's great. You can run the cord under the area rug and plug it in without having to deal with the cord running to an exterior wall. Gives you a little bit of directed light on this area, and does help kind of differentiate this space from the dining space by kind of having a hanging pendant over. I went with a fairly large area rug. The one that was on the Pinterest board didn't come in quite a big enough size. I needed something a little bit bigger to really anchor this furniture and define this space. So this is something really similar in style, brings in that blue color that we have throughout the space, but also has more of that global kind of worldly feel that you're looking for. It's kind of an antique vintage style, but there's no white, and it's very mottled, so anything that gets spilt on it or anything I think will hide very well. Keep going here to your dining area. So this is your view if you're looking from your entrance. So this is your existing dining table. I'm just suggesting to switch out the chairs. So some molded Ames armchairs for the end, which will be great for your kids that, need to be a little bit more contained. I did go with the actual Ames chair from Design Within Reach, which is a little bit expensive, but I think it's worth it. Quality wise, especially if you're, going to have a lot of wear and tear with little ones. There are a lot of, reproduction options. So if you weren't comfortable with that price point, you can search. I know like Target has one, even Amazon has a lot of these molded plastic chairs with dowel base is what you would search. And then just kind of bring in a little bit more color and a little bit more fun and playfulness. I've just switched out your other chairs for these molded plywood chairs in like a light blue. So all of these chairs, there's no upholstery, so it's great for households with little families. Or with little kids, you can wipe them down. You don't have to worry about the upholstery getting stained or gummed up from anything. So it's a really functional choice there. I also did switch out your pendants. You had two currently, and I think just to kind of go with this really interesting mid-century style is this great overscaled pendant, which I really love. I do want you to double check the height from where you would want it to hang, which is approximately 30 to 36 inches off of your dining table to the top of your sloped ceiling, just to make sure that there's enough cord length that comes from the manufacturer and that it's able to be mounted on an angled surface. You should be able to find that out just by reaching out to a customer service rep at Lumens. They're usually pretty helpful about that. And then this is your existing mid-century style hutch, which I really love. It's great against this wall. I love the like wood tones on the wood panel wall. It's very warm. I'm just suggesting to bring in a little bit more light and a little bit more color and a little bit more drama by adding these really large scale table lamps in a really beautiful blue color, and then just kind of anchoring it with some art from Minted, which has a lot of great options. So I really loved this birch print. It reminded me a lot of the photo you showed me of the entry of your house, and I know that the architecture of your house is really set on connecting the interior with the exterior, and it looked like you had some really beautiful birch landscaping. So I thought that was a nice nod to the style of the house and its original intention by bringing that in, and it's just a really beautiful like vertical piece that brings your eye back to this space. And just for a little bit of contrast and to bring in some of this orange coral color that we have just pops of in the living room area is just this piece of art. And I'm just suggesting to lean these against the wall. I like the way that it feels a little bit more kind of collected and kind of eclectic when you do it like that. It's not all planned out, and it's a lot easier to switch your art in and out. One last thing, whoops, I don't know why that lamp is there. Let's get rid of that. Is your dining room stool. So this is really roughly modeled area of your kitchen, but I did select these metal bar stools that have a little bit of an arm. So again, with your children, they're a little bit more contained if they're sitting on there. And also there's no upholstery. This comes with a removable cushion. So if it's not comfortable enough, you can add the cushion back. But if you're more concerned about, being able to easily clean them, it's a great option. They're metal, and again, just brings in that fun light blue color that kind of ties the entire space together and gives you a bright, eclectic, kind of worldly space with a lot of mid-century touches. So I'm going to swing over to your area, which will be your home office and sitting room. So I went with a lot of a lighter, kind of more relaxed palette in here. When you see your design document, there's a lot more details included in there with the mirror and the pillow and everything. But I wanted to just keep this space really simple and functional by adding a couple of chairs, which there's a few options on your pin board if you're, want to see a variety of options and pick whichever one you think suits you for what you're going to be using it for, lounging versus reading, if it would be more comfortable. But I like the idea of doing a really similar color, so it kind of to the sofa, so it picks up what's going on out here, and kind of makes the spaces feel, since it is just an open flow, they feel cohesive, but it still feels different enough. Same with the rug. I went with a similar kind of vintage, worldly pattern type rug, but a much lighter color. Since this is more of an adult space, we don't have to be so concerned about it getting as much wear and tear with the kids. And then just another little metal accent table here with a wall mirror that you really liked on the Pinterest board to just kind of reflect some of this light and make the space feel bigger and kind of anchor this seating group. In the design document too, you'll see there is a kind of driftwood based lamp here, which I really love the play on this really sleek metallic table versus a wood kind of eclectic base light. I just think it gives it a nice collected feel. Again, this ottoman that you really liked, and I love the pattern too, so we can stick that there and just have somewhere to kick your feet up when you're reading or studying. And then this area over here is a little bit more functional. I went with a smaller desk with a campaign style, so it has a metallic base, and a distressed wood top. So again, kind of that eclectic, worldly, modern combo going on. And then what I really love here is these art pieces called Little Da Vinci, which they open from the front. So once they're mounted on the wall, you can just flip open the front of these frames and switch out the art. So you can have all your kids' art framed above you while you're working, and then just add in a small filing cabinet here for bills and all of that kind of stuff. And I really love the idea of adding a big plant in here because you've got a lot of height, and it's just a great inexpensive way to add color and texture to your space. So take a look over the design document. You'll see a little bit more detail for this space. But I really love how it came together. So take your time looking over it and let me know if you have any questions. Just shoot me an email. Talk to you soon. Bye.